What's going on, everybody? Sloth here. Hope you're having an awesome day. Now in this video we're going to be going over this big slab of meat that is Shugoki, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about his moveset, what he's good at, what he's not good at, some of his bad matchups, and also how you want to play him online. I'm going to be going through some combos and how to use his moves towards the end and some gameplay at the start. Now this character is very special. He's a huge slab of meat that does an absolute ton of damage but is incredibly slow. It's like trying to maneuver a tank when you are playing with this guy. So first off, I'm going to get into some of his pros. To start off, his range isn't bad. He's got that long club, which can reach quite far, and obviously can hit enemies from a great distance. As you can see, I'm fighting Nabushi here first, and I'm not having too much trouble contending with her in terms of range. She obviously has got greater range than Shugoki, but he can rival her. He doesn't have to get as close as some of the other characters would. Now, you'll see I've got easy here on the pros list, and what I mean by this is he's relatively easy to pick up and start playing with if you are a new beginner player. That does not mean he's easy to master by any sense. All these characters on this game are very difficult when you get to a higher level of play, when it gets into, you know, feinting and making sure you parry him right, you know, all that kind of stuff gets a lot more difficult. But in terms of if you're a new player to the game and you want to pick up a hero, he is quite easy to play. His moves aren't too hard to perform, and he hasn't got that many moves, so it's quite easy to wrap your head around all the things he can do and start to learn him fully. So next up, you've got his damage, of course. This big boy does not mess about, let me tell you that. When it comes to damage, he hits like a truck. He has an ability where you basically just hold down his heavy attack button and he charges it up, and it becomes an unblockable attack. So if they do not dodge it, it's going to connect, and it almost does probably more than a quarter of their health. So it can really turn the tide of a battle, just landing a few hits with Shugoki. He's never out of the fight, and I'm going to tell you why again later on in the video when it comes to another one of his pros. Oh, actually, here it is. It's a shield. So the Shugoki has a shield, and what I mean by that is it's a one-hit shield. I'm not explaining this very well, but basically what it is if an enemy hits you, you will flash kind of silver. It's quite subtle, you have to be looking out to notice it, but you'll flash silver, and you will basically still take the damage from that attack, but you won't be stunned, and therefore you can attack through it. So for instance, I could start charging up a heavy attack, and then the opponent could hit me, but then I would still carry on with my attack and therefore finish them off. So it's really good in situations when you know your enemy's going to attack. Because Shugoki does so much damage, you want to trade with their attack whilst charging up yours, and then hit them with yours, and obviously you're going to do a lot more damage and win that trade. I believe I'm demonstrating that on screen now. His next his next pro, sorry, is his heal. Now, I don't really think any of the classes on the game can heal, not involving feats. The Shugoki can heal when he performs a move, which is pressing back on the left stick and then X, and what you'll do is you'll charge towards your opponent, you will grab them, and you essentially crush their spine. You basically crush them, and you will get a percentage of your health back. But what is very interesting, my friends, about this move, if you are able to perform it when you are flashing red on your health, you are very low on health, you will actually kill your opponent outright, no matter what amount of health they are on at the time of doing it. So it's very interesting to use, but it also comes with a bit of a flaw. If you miss the ability, then what will happen is you will lose a portion of your health, and it's quite a substantial amount of your health that you will lose. Also, I just want to touch back onto the shield. It has another ability where when your shield is gone, you take more damage than you normally would. So that's kind of a trade-off as well for having the shield. So that's just something to bear in mind when you are playing as the Shugoki. Now, let's get on to his cons. He's slow. He's slow as fuck, alright? You're not going to win any foot races with this guy. He isn't very quick, but that comes, you know, it's obviously a trade-off. He does one hell of a lot of damage, but he's going to be slow. It makes sense. The character's still fantastic, but he's slow. That's all I can say. The guy's slow. And then a con here, you can see I've put assassins. Any kind of assassin might cause you some trouble when playing as the Shugoki. This is just due to the severe speed difference. If you're up and against an Orochi and he's dashing, he's spinning sides, he's connecting with hits, he's going to cause you some trouble. Okay, and this kind of slips right into the bad matchups. Any assassin is going to cause you a little bit of trouble, but obviously if you play the character a lot and you learn how to play against that, you'll be just fine. But they're the ones that are most likely going to give you the most trouble when you come up against them. And then you've got the Warden. The Warden can hit quite quick, like the assassins can, and he also has very good parries when it comes to his top heavy. block and attack, so he can also give you a little bit of trouble whilst playing as the Shugoki. Now I'm going to be going into some of the moves and how to use them, and then some basic, they're not really combos, but semi-combos and how you want to play with the Shugoki. So he doesn't really have long chains, but there's ways that you can use his moves in sync with one another that can end up giving you the most chance in a fight online. Alright, so here we go. Alright then guys, we're back, and we're going to start off by showing off the charge of the Oni. Now how this is done is by holding down the sprint button and A at the same time, and you're going to run into your opponent. You're going to be, it's an unblockable move, so they can't block it, they have to dodge it, and if you hit them with it, they're going to go flying off the map, or if there's no walls nearby or no edges nearby, sorry, they're going to fall to the floor. Now what you're going to want to do is, when you connect with your opponent, is hit the cancel button, which is B, and then hit them with a heavy attack, and that's a way to confirm some damage off that move there. Now we're going to take a look at Shugoki's Demon Embrace. It's a very, very frightening move. Now, how to perform this, all you're going to need to do is press back on the left stick and hold down X, and you're going to grip your opponent, and you're going to try and break their spine on top of your back. Now, a cool thing to know about this move is, if you hold down heavy attack and then press back and then X again to complete the Demon's Embrace, you can cancel your heavy attack into it. Now, sadly, you have to do this pretty quick. So it is a good feint, but it doesn't look the greatest, because if you could cancel it a bit later, it'd look a bit more obvious. It'd look like you were going to attack to the left and then you were going to do the move. But as you can see in the background footage, I'm cancelling it, I believe, as late as possible. And it doesn't give too much away, which is sad. You want your opponent to think you're going to attack, and then you're going to cancel it into that. But this is what I would recommend doing if you get stuck in a position when you're low health, you want to kill your opponent, and it's going to be a one hit. This is kind of a last ditch attempt move, and that's something you can try and throw out there in order to get the win in a clutch situation. Now here I'm showing you the guard break move, where if you guard break your enemy and then you hold down the heavy attack button, then you're going to hit your opponent back about a country mile. Okay, now I'm showing you Shugoki's headbutt ability. How to perform this is pressing RB, the light attack button, and then you're going to want to press RB and X again. Now you have to do this pretty quick. The timing on this is quite difficult to understand, but once you get it down, you're going to be getting very used to it, and it's pretty easy to perform. And the reason you want to do this move is, and why it's good, is once you've performed it, your enemy can't see where your next attack's coming from. It dazes them basically. And a good follow-up to do with it, you want to do the headbutt, so light attack into the headbutt, which is X, and then you're going to want to press heavy attack, which is one of Shugoki's most damaging combos if you do get it off, and I'm showing that on screen there. It's fantastic for damage. Alright then guys, now I'm just going to be demonstrating the Shugoki's charged up heavy attack. You can hit this from the left, right, or the center. It's a fantastic move, probably Shugoki's most damaging ability. Now remember, you want to use this ability when you've got armor. If you see your opponent's about to attack you, start charging it up if your armor is there, and then they will hit you. Your attack will not be stopped because of the armor, and you will return with an absolute thunderbolt of damage. Now I'm going to be showing you a way to guarantee that you hit Demon's Embrace every time. If you're able to get your opponent near a wall and you guard break them, what you're going to want to do is push them into that wall and then press down on the stick and X to do the Demon's Embrace, and you are guaranteed to hit them with it if you time it right. So if you're on low health and you manage to do this, you're going to win the game every single time. So a tip when playing Shugoki, you're always going to want to try and force your opponent towards a ledge. If you're not into pushing people off ledges, I understand some people aren't, that's fair enough, but try and force your opponent into corners, places where there's lots of walls. Try and press them into a position that gives you the advantage as the player, and try and force them into the wall as much as you can. It drains their stamina, and also you get to get a guaranteed Demon's Embrace. Now the main combos I would suggest using are the headbutt, so light attack into the headbutt into a heavy. Also try and grab them as much as possible, knock them back to gain distance. When you are running, don't be afraid to use that charge where you hit them. It helps mix up. If you manage to sprint towards them, knock them on the floor, cancel it, hit B. Also, you can follow that up with a charged up heavy attack. Just feel your opponent out. As I said, there's not too many long strings with Shugoki. Sadly, I can't go through here and tell you to do this in a chain. It's more about just chaining together moves, his heavy attacks and his unblockables in ways that you think are going to work, and against different opponents different things are going to work out. But these are the things I think will definitely work for you, and hopefully these tips should help you guys out if you are new to playing as Shugoki. Make sure when you play him you try and push the tempo of the fight. Don't feel threatened to rush in. That's not what I mean when I say that. Bide your time. You do a lot of damage when your attacks. You only need to get a few off in a match to win, so remember that. If you guys did enjoy this video, I really hope you did. I hope you found some value in it. Hope you got some useful information out of it. If you did like it, please feel free to like the video and comment down below on things that you think I might have missed in the video. And also, if you like the video, please let me know. It does mean a lot to me. Also, guys, if you do want to subscribe to my channel, I'm going to be putting out a lot more For Honor content. So if you do like the content I've put out so far, please feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, guys, have a great day.